Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. We are learning today the last and final Daf of Mesechus Bava Kamo. Shechionu Kimonu Gionos Banazeh. Nish Pasha to finish the Mesechus Bava Kamo. We will start tonight from the two dots that have with the base towards the bottom. The Gemara says, so we talk about the royim you have, the shepherds.
You went to that.
I didn't that.
Yeah.
I went to here.
Very sure. We talked about power of the information.
Yeah, we got to that here. I wanted to go there, but I couldn't.
We stopped here.
Yeah. So the Gemara says that the baisos in the midbar is why, because it says over there that the royim, the shepherds, right. they you take from him the animals that are in the house, but not the animals that are outside in the midbar, because the owner will not know if he takes out the one in the midbar, but he will know the one in the house. Says the Gemara. So what is that? What is that going? Because the Brisa says that when you're not allowed to take from the roim, now take in the Yeshuv, now the midbar, now in the Yeshuv, and then Rabbi says, and that's number one. It says there, and you're not allowed to take two tzoyin and two gizros. Ended why is it two? Is it two or four? It says Rabbi Yehuda, you could take baisas but not midbaris. So like when Rabbi Yehuda, reishikai v'lechubra dim l'sivikai v'lekul. Is it going in the beginning or the end? What does it mean? Says you can take 4 or 5 sheep for them. That's after if they are domestic animals. I mean, is the ones who go out. I feel like you can't take even 4 and 5. We learned yesterday 4 or 5 can mean 4 out of 5. What will be the reason not to take it? Because people don't know the difference. Or you talk about the sefer. I'll take 2. That's all in the midbar when the owner doesn't know what's really going on. Is it going to be make or going to be machmir when differentiates between domestic ones and the ones that go out in the desert? So you can take them domestic ones and the ones in the desert. And you can take 4 to 5, you always can take. I was doing yesterday 4 out of 5. In other words, he wanted to say, we're talking about it in the Sefer, he says, what he's coming to, that was the second part. The first part was, he says, baisos, I mean, you yes, Boris, no. And then he says, everywhere you can take 4 and 5. So what are you talking about till now? Till now, we're talking about not 4 and 5, we're talking about 2. And what to say, even though you say now let take 2 animals only, but if it's baisos, if it's domestic ones, you could. Because the bais will know about it. Says the Gemara now story, the Gemara brings, now I'll take from guards of Paris, now I'll take buy from them. Because maybe they stole it. Says the Gemara, Rav Zavin Shavish Tomeri, so he bought a zmoiris, which is wood, which is the branches, from an aris, from a sharecropper. You're not allowed to take from the shoymim wood and fruits because you're assuming they stole it. Not a shoymer who doesn't own anything in the land. So if he's selling it, he's stealing it. But Aris, sharecropper does have a chelik. He is an owner. He's a partial owner. At least he gets a share of it. He's like a partial partner. So I'm assuming he sold from when he belongs to him. You're allowed to buy from people that guard fruits when they're sitting. Sitting means that they're doing it relaxed. They're not in fear that maybe the owner will come and see it. And the basket in front of him, and the scales in front of him. Everything is in Pharisee. But if he said to him, I'm going to sell it to you, but you have to do it quietly. When they're trying to hide, that shows they probably stole it. You can take from the entrance of the gina, not from the back. Again, the back alley, that's where you sell illegal merchandise, illegal stuff. From when can you buy from a gazlan? As long as you have what to be assuming that most of what he has belongs to him, so then you could buy from him. Even the minority. I'm assuming that probably whatever he stole, I'm totally cool. Ula Rav Yudah la'ad dailo. Rav Yudah was Meireh. Had dailo was the one who announced the shir. If you are mutual, even a mute, you are totally cool. Kedusha Gemara says Mamoin Maso, money of a moiser. What is that? Rabuna Rav Yudah Chadon Ma'im Mutar le'abdo b'yad. Chadon Asul le'abdo b'yad. One says you could go and destroy the money. One says you're not allowed to do it. We learned in the previous daf, if you zayin, that you could kill a Muslim if he's going to come and be moist to somebody. So of course you can take away his money. Can't be that his soul will be more free game, or fair game than his money. Maybe we'll have children that deserve it. You don't take away his money. His money is not only his money it goes to his children. He did something wrong. You can take away his soul. But to go and take away his money, maybe he's preparing the money for the next generations. This goes with the Rambam, we mentioned a few days in Shor Shlomo and the Daf. The Rambam, the Pirush Mishnayos, it goes on and says the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu distributes the money, the wealth in the world, is that he gives rich people money, and then the non-rich, the tzaddikim, can go and enjoy it. And he brings the examples of the Rambam. You have a guy who's very, very weak, and he's old, and he's about to die, and he goes all over the world to do business to buy a beautiful big house. Why does he need a big house? He's going to die, and he's about to die, this guy. He's old and weak. It's because maybe at tzaddik he's going to go through, and it'll be raining. You need a place to hide under the rain. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu give money to this person to go and do it. He gives the shoymi money, and they're able to guard it. So he says, Pshat is, you have your Rasha, but we'll give you money so you prepare it for his children. They'll be tzaddik. Says there was this this sharecropper that he was weighing and taking. Rashi explains, what does it mean? There was shokel v'yoyiv, shokel v'tokil, tokil v'yoyiv, tokil v'shokel. What is it? Rashi says he was medaktik b'chalukov and mevatim b'chalukov klon. He was so they didn't give any leeway. Bingo, exactly. But Shanacher, he would take more than he deserves. He deserves a third, he take a half. So he says, Salki, he got rid of it. The tzaddik, right, is going to get that once he kicked him out, so he took away his chelik. So he says, whatever belongs to the choyte, put the pasuk that says, whatever belongs to the choyte goes to the tzaddik. Now the Morgadash is a very important pasuk. Very important pasuk that is fitting very much for the last half of the Masechta. Mamash the end of the Masechta. Says the Gemara, ki ma tikvo chanev ki yivtza ki isha lo kanavsho. Says, what is the hope of talk about chanef over here? We're referring here to someone who's going to steal, because the Kishbo will take away his soul. That's the part of Shah. Some say when it says he takes away his soul, talking about the Gazlan. Some say take away the soul, take away the soul in Nigzal. What does it mean? He says, will take away his nefesh, because he takes the nefesh of the Nigzal. In other words, he's going to be removing the nefesh of the person he's stealing from, and he that's what he's going to be punished with. So the Gemara, anybody who steals takes away the soul of the owner. Don't steal from a poor. He's poor. Don't depress a poor man in your cities. Hashem will fight. The kova is koveim nefesh, and he will cause a klala to. You'll take away their nefesh, the one who's stealing. So you take, in other words, the thief is going to lose his soul because who's going to punish him. It says that he will take away the nefesh of the bailim, not for the owner of the nigzal. My bailim baldash, the new bailim, meaning the gazlan. He will cause the nefesh to be taken. That Hakadosh will take away the nefesh of the gazlan. The koveim. Why Hakadosh will punish the gazlan? Should the koveim nefesh because they take the nefesh. One of course he's bringing two shittas to we focus on the fact that the gazlan take away the nefesh of the nigzal, or the nigzal because the gzelo gazlan loses his nefesh. So now the Gemara really seems to be very much like the first shot. Someone who takes away from his friend the pruta as if he took away his neshama. Shenema kol choiz b'yitzei abetza is nefesh ba'al mikach. He takes away the bile of the owner. Take away your food and your kids. The stealing of Yehuda caused people to die. It says that Shaul, the punishment of Shaul, for the fact that he killed the Givonim. My boy, it's more like says all the psukim. Take only the nefesh of the nigzal, but his kids. If he's taking away also the kids. That's only if he doesn't pay. So talk about Bnei Yehuda who paid for the theft. Who does directly, indirectly not. Shaul is considered to be that he killed the Givonim. Why? He never killed the Givonim. He killed Noivi Karani. They gave in my Muslim, different ways that before I should explain it, the Rashi says is that the Givonim are the ones that served the Koyanim and they would get paid for it. And now they don't have the paros anymore. Is considered to be as if he killed him, then he didn't do directives indirectly. And here we have a big Yesod, and we're going to be Marich, and this is a Shur Machshava, which is a big Yesod that really belongs to Bava Kama, throughout Bava Kama. It's throughout Bava Kama. The Yesod that the money of a person is considered to be an extension of his own. We always bring what's brought down in the name of the Arizal, that the word Nigle is Lashon Nefesh, Guf, Levush, Heichel. That's the Gilu of the Neshama. It's the Nefesh. It goes out to the Guf, then it goes to the Levush, the clothing, then it goes to the Heichel, which is the property, the house. A person's money is an extension of himself. And it's created for many, many things. That's why it says the Yaakov Avinu went back for Pachim Tarim. Because because the money is what they acquire to bring it to be part of them, to be Oived Hashem. I learned it earlier, this idea. Money is part of the Odom. That's why it says that an Oni, Choshev Kames. What is that Choshev Kames? Doesn't have money, so if you don't have money, he has missing part of his nefesh. The nefesh of a bailing continues on to his mom. So when the beginning of the Masechta, that's the idea where it says, Kol Makom Shoyel Hashem Ba'il Avaylav. This is what the Gemara says over here. A person steals, this is the Chidi Yesod. A person steals money from somebody, he's taking part of his nefesh. Because that's part of what that's the gilu, the nefesh of the Adam goes from there. Says the Gemara, we take from the woman. You can take wool kalim in Yehuda, you can take linen in Galil. You can't take wine, oil, and flour. You can't take from slaves. Not from children. All this because your soup is not theirs. She could sell small thing in small amount because it's keeping her Russia. Yes, that small amount that she needs, that her husband gives it to her so she can support herself. Anybody, they said, if they were saying, you could buy it from us, but I wanted to do in hiding, it's awesome. Now the Gemara is something important. A gabbai tzedakah can take from women, small tzedakah, but not a lot. What's shot? Why can take small tzedakah? It's not a lot. Simple idea. The money doesn't belong to them, but the husband is moichel on the small amount. So both the Meshachachma and the Panim Yopho is bring. That's over the Mishkan. It says, "Meis kol isha shizvenu liboy." You take from isha loy min isha. And when the noshim brought it, it says, "Vayavoa noshim ala noshim." The man came with the woman. The woman can't give a tzedakah. Like we see over here. So that's why you need the man to work together with the woman. So I heard from Moshe Pirs itself. He said, "Okay, but we just learned you can do davar muat. There's no davar merube. You can't give. Let's take a small donation for the woman. It's like a $5 donation for every woman in Amazon." Says Moshe, no. You know why? What's the reason davar muat is okay? Davar muat is because the husband's meichel. The Rosh brings here. Husband's meichel. It's not lechatchila. Not that he wants to do it. He's not going to start a fight with his wife for $5, right? That's how you give a donation to the Mishkan. The Mishkan doesn't need for a slave. It has to be b'cheshik. It has to be enthusiastic, with excitement. That's how you give it. You give it with a krechts. I'm not going to fight with her. No, thank you. So the Gemara. Aval, it said badodim are the ones that make oil out of the olives. You can take olives in a measurement. The shemen b'mido with a measurement. Avaloi zeisim b'muot the shemen b'muot. You can't take in small amounts. They can do because again, right? The way I said it wrong. Meaning, as Rashi points out, you take from their wives. The zeisim shemen mido. In a way which is derech bechir, b'farasa. You sell, you're going to the store and buying it, but not something small, which is that you're stealing. Okay. You took it out to them in the moyed. Sometimes a person doesn't want to sell. It looks like he's desperate for money, so he lets his wife does it instead of it. He came, he went so the woman came and gave him expensive jewelry. So he says, he accepted it from him. We just learned if a Gabbat Zoki, he take only small, not a lot. There's a lot of money in this jewelry. For Bnei Mechoyz, it's a little bit, never you could do it. And so the place can bring, I think if Moshe brings in Tshuva, the Bnei New York is like Bnei Mechoyz. The woman, the jewelry, it's the small jewelry they have, it's not considered to be a lot, not considered to be so choshev in their eyes, so therefore they can sell it. Says the Mishnah. So that was that part of the Gemara. Getting out to the Mishnah, the last Mishnah of the Masechah. So the Mishnah. The Mishnah is going to talk about when you have a craftsman that does for you a malacha, some things he can take for himself, some things he can't. Whatever he takes for himself a permissible way, it's mutter. Whatever not, it's gazel. So let's see. Muchim is a type of some of the leftovers of the wool that the koivis, what's a koivis? The cleaners takes out. They're moicha. Vasorik moitzi, soirik is the one who presses the clothing, makes it look straight and nice. He takes out anything that's sticking out of it. It makes it smooth. That's already more in the Bava wants it back. Right? The way Rashi brings based on the it's like a one presses and makes it straight. Koivis, the cleaners again. Notel gimel chutim u'shelo. You can take 3 threads that it takes out because there's always an end of the clothing. Rashi says like 3 threads coming out. The koivis can take it out, makes it nice and clean and smooth, and he takes it for himself. You have to be kind of ratio babais. More than that, he has to give the babais. If it's white clothing and there's a little black on it, really bothers. He can take it because the babais wants it to be removed. He left a little bit. He left a little thread. The amount which is the size of tefira. Umatli she gimel and a small clothing which is 3 fingers and 3 fingers. That amount is the balabais, but less than that is for them. Matzah is the one you take out when you use. It's like a carpenter who takes out the edges. So whatever he takes out, so whatever sticks out goes out of it is his. Ubikoshu, which is it was a larger hammer and takes a much bigger pieces. Shabbalabais. If it's in the house of Shabbalabais. Even the small ones go to the Baalabais. In other words, you go into the das. Does the Baalabais want or does not want to split? Says the Gemara, to give up. You can take it, the moichin is that level of the wool. You can take the 2 top strings, 2 top threads that are on there. You're allowed to take it. Again, similar things are meant to be removed. With basis, the Gemara
Is he getting paid also?
yes, it's getting paid. In addition to getting paid. Charlotte who takes it. So Rashi explains that the sarkim, what they do is they put a little bit, they put like a thread, like a thicker thread that goes through the beget, and then when you stretch it, you take that out. It's like clips the beged together, and then like you stretch it out, and you're allowed to take that chut out. So if it's 3 chayvin, you could take. So he says that so Rashi, the chiddush over here is that when you do that string, don't make more than 3. So it'll be easy to take it out. So he says, "V'lo yisroi kabeged l'shtia el-arva." Another din. How do you press? How do you soyrek? How do you brush the clothing? You do shti, not erev. I believe shti is from right to left, is horizontal, and erev is vertical. So
She is very.
what?
She
Shti is vertical. Sure, shti is vertical. Sorry. So you do it vertical, don't do horizontal. When you want to straighten it up, you go to the length, not the width. And you're allowed to cut off even the size of a tefach. In other words, if it's not straight and there's a tefach sticking out, you can straighten it out. So we learned 3 and he said 2. It depends how thick it is. We learned the opposite. What does it mean? Rashi explains the galima is a clothing you wear every day. So you want it to be more lasting. You want it to be lasting for a longer time. So that's why it's easier to tear it. So that's why you don't want to make it shtil, maybe you want to make it erev. Sarbala is made for beauty, like a special suit. So then you do erev, which looks nicer, even though you do shtil, it looks nicer, even though it's going to tear faster. For that, you don't do more than 3 threads. It goes in and out. Every time the thread goes, it goes in and out. The in and out is 1, so you can do 3 of them, or every in and every out is 1. So you can do 1.5 or 3. You cut it off in the length, not the width. The opposite. It depends if it's a clothing or it is a belt. So the clothing you do to the length, right? The width, the belt you do to the width, because that's how you use it, to the width. Soyrek who brushes their things, presses it, you don't take the moichik, is not his. If a minig is to give it to him, like you can take a pillow full of moichin, like a mattress moichin. My time it cannot be shitting. Now it's going to be shitting. As we learned yesterday's daf. Now I'll take for him, but once it's going to be shitting, you have it. Gardi is a weaver, right? Lo irin, veloy nirin, veloy pankalim, veloy shurup kirs. These are all different pieces of the wool that he takes it. You don't take any piece that connects the piece of the wool that connects to one part of the machine, the other part of the machine. You don't leave with the leftovers of the threads. You could take something which is mixed up all together, right? And Rashi says, "Was menuma even menuma, even though it's many colors." Even though why many colors? Why was the chiddush many colors? I think maybe it's stolen. He stole a little bit from me, a little bit from me, and put together. You know, you're not chodesh to that. Or it's a kohen b'shinu. We said you could take from him if it's tovui. Right? It says all these things it says you could take from him. So tovui means that it is that it's weaved. And can you help me there with the art school? I don't know if you have. Tovui and orig, one is woven.
made by spoon.
Oh, spun. One is spun, one is woven. So why do you have to get to the woven if it's already spun before? Says the Gemara, Tichi means this type of kalim that you don't need to spun them in order to weave them.
Spun is using raw material. Weaving is once you have the fabric and you make it into a cloth.
Right, so when you spun, you do some sheeting, you change it a little bit. If there it's koine, you don't have to get the next one. I will learn the beginning of a parak of a Grizol Mach. I'll begin the parak. You can't take from the one who colors oisos. What is oisos? Oisos means that they bring him from the house a little small piece to see if the color works or not. Dugmos says you bring another clothing for somebody else. The lady comes and says, "But my friend Leah has this thing. I want to have the same thing." So you give me an example. For the inclusion, 7 pieces of wool, you can't take all that because you assume he stole. You can take a colored clothing, or tovui, or it's woven, in clothing. Tovui shokal bgodim by tovui means woven, but it's already full clothing. So go on, my bgodim namti. Bgodim namti means that they're clothing that are done without being woven, without weaving them. No, you don't go through the process, so you have to just take a chiddush in each one of these shinui. The person gives hides to the leather maker. So kitsuin is what he goes and he cuts it. He cuts it to make it nice and straight, very beautifully all around. And plushim is what all the wool that you cut off from the hide. So all these bugs are bais. Whatever goes up, that comes up from when you just wash it, it's not allowed, so that's hefker. If it was black and white, for sure you can take the whole thing. What's the name of a cleaners? He's called katsu. Why is he called katsu in Aramaic? Katsu shakal, because he cuts the beggar. That's what cleaners those days used to do. He used to stream the beggar. If the beggar was a little sticking out some things, he cut it off. And that's what he takes it, right? He takes it out. So what do you mean kolim and cheles? It means that you counted for the measurement of the tzitzis. Rashi says, if he didn't cut it off, Rashi explains, you need to have a certain distance from the edge to put the tzitzis. That can be counted towards it. So if you didn't cut it off, it's part of the beggar, because the son was makbid not to cut it. If you left the chut, you can take it out. If you take it. But Shagmor there says that if it's kemoit the size of tefira, so he goes to Bava bais. Kamalit for what is that size? Meaning you have you need to have thread that goes into the needle to be able to sew the beggar. So whatever goes into that thread, you need it for the chut. Whatever is more. So it has to be miloi chut. You have the string, the chut samach, whatever comes out. The size of the needle. The chut samach and you know they have to have double the size of the needle in order to be considered what the leftover that goes to Bava bais. Or do miloi chut samach and nashi, even a little bit more. And if they're a little bit more, right? So that's right, because we said the chayat shishir. It goes to Bava bais. So that's leftover. So what is it? If the chayat left out a thread, you can't really sew with it. If it says 3 and 3, in other words, the flip side of our Mishnah. If the Bava bais is makbid, so then it belongs to Bava bais. Then you say it says. If you're saying the thread that you're not allowed to take is the size of a needle, double. So the less of it you could still use it, and the chiddush is you can leave it for the tailor. What do you mean he left the lure? He left a thread that you could sew with. You can't sew with it. It's the size of the needle. You can't even move with it. In other words, what is going to say? If the tailor is taking a thread and is using that to sew, so he needs to have the size of the machat because that covers the size, goes into the machat, and then you have a little bit more left over. That part, if it's a certain size, he has to give it to the Bava bais. It's less, he keeps it to himself. What's a certain size? Double the machat. That's what's good. If it's less than that, so you might, it's a little small. You can leave the last thread that stays after you finish sewing. Our Mishnah says if he does it, the charash, the craftsman, if he's using a matzah, which is a small knife, so it's very, very thin, what's cutting off, it belongs to him. But if he's using a shield, which is a big one, it's big pieces, it goes to Bava bais. Says the Gemara, what is using a matzah, which is we just said in our Mishnah, matzah is small. Which is a bigger, what? A bigger, the Megera is a we use the big knives that cut the saw. Harei Bava bais, clear Bava bais. Megdeach is really like we use it today. It's like a small screwdriver that goes in. Umitagas Ritini, which is a small knife. Nigur Megiro with the smooth the wood. Harel Shula, that all belongs to him. So what do you see over here? You see that what? You see that the we said Ma'atzod belongs to Baal Bais, and our Mishnah says Ma'atzod belongs to him. So the Gemara. So right, and our Mishnah, right? So one more over about so the place of our Mishnah, our Tano, Ikatar Techatzini. You have two knives. There are both big one correlate kosher, and that leaves a big pieces that goes to Baal Bais. There's Zutra, the small one correlate matzah, which is small pieces. At that time, bro, the Tano of the Baiso, Chadudi Kovikol Matzot. There's only one, and it's called Matzot, and that's a larger one, and therefore it goes to Baal Bais. So they're not arguing. Something more you might always say, if he's doing in the house of Baal Bais, it goes to Baal Bais. The ones who cut off stones, ain't mishum gezel. There's no gezel because the small piece of stone, the Baal Bais allows it to him. The ones who cut off the trees and the grapes, Minapke Higi, the type of a small tree, Rashi said the snake. Minapke is joining the one who takes out the seeds from the ground. For Idri Rokas, the one who takes out the vegetables. If the Baal Bais is makbi, then there's gezel. And the Baal Bais makbi the lame, the Baal Bais doesn't care about it. So then so it depends on the kvedo. Omar Yudo Kshus v'chazis, which is the kshus is a type of vegetable, and chazis is the unripe grain. There's no gezel over there. That belongs to the Baal Bais, to the owner, to the worker. The house of the kapti, yes, mishum gezel. But in a place where makbi, there is gezel. Umayavino, umatamachsio. We're going to say matamachsio is a place with a makbit. That's how the Masechta ends. What do you do with kshush v'chazis? That you cut off the ground because the man who's doing the work can do it or not. And that's the ends. We'll Be'ez Hashem tomorrow in the Siyum. We will talk about why is the Gemara choose to end the Masechta with these words. What is the message of these words? If there's a message of the words, Be'ez Hashem, all that tomorrow in the Siyum at 8:15 p.m. Please be there.
8:15.